want to welcome you this morning to Williams Island TV. Our first guest today is somebody very interesting that I thought you would really enjoy talking to and hearing about. Normally, he's not in front of the camera. He's usually behind the scenes. For those of you that have been to the Aventura Arts Center down the street from us, Jeff Kiltie is the managing director. But what most people don't understand and really know about is that it's under the auspices of Broward Performing Arts also, isn't it?
We are owned by the City of Aventura. We are a City of Aventura department, but yes, the City of Aventura brought in the Broward Center for the Performing Arts to manage the facility, and we've been there since construction. And I've been with the building since we opened. Yep, 15 years ago. We're celebrating our 15th anniversary season this year.
This is Jeff Kiltie, he's managing director. And, we both have a theatrical background.
Yep.
Jeff more on the management of theater, me, I guess, on the more the producing side of it. Never a director to be seen and never an actor. But I thought it'd be interesting today because I know so many of us on the island go to the theater, all theaters. But this particular year, we've partnered with you on a few of the shows that you're doing there. And they've been extremely successful for us. We've sold out every single one that we've done with you.
Good.
Before we even get into what we're doing now, how did you get into theater?
Oh, wow. I started out as an actor. I wanted to be an actor like everybody, sing and dance, and I was in the chorus. Yeah. So, yes, I am behind the scenes now, but I did start out wanting to be an actor.
Let me interrupt. Where was this?
So I grew up in South Florida. I grew up in Klein. Yep, I'm a native. I'm one of those rare natives. But yeah, I grew up in South Florida. I went to, and I wanted to be an actor. And then between high school and college, I was going to college for an arts degree. I was planning to, but then I found a community theater locally, Hollywood Playhouse, which doesn't exist anymore. And I got involved in everything, not just acting, but in stage management, in props, and working the follow spots. And I really fell in love with the backstage side of things. And then I found stage management, and I really fell in love with that aspect of it. And that's sort of what I did for the next 15 years or so. And then 9/11 happened. The bottom dropped out of the industry, as you kind of remember. I was living in New York at the time. I came back to South Florida. I ended up working at the Broward Center. And that was 23 years ago. I've worked my way through. I came to Aventura when the city brought in the Broward Center to operate it in 2009. And we opened in 2010, and I've been there, and I became the general manager in 2016. So I've been there as the GM almost 9 years now. So that's my Reader's Digest, as condensed as I can get it.
Well, I remember because when I was a commissioner, you were brought in.
Yep.
At that time when I was there.
Yep. Yeah.
But I remember back then we used to have great names opening, like we had Bernadette Peters one year open this theater for us.
She was our 5th anniversary show.
Correct. And then we had, my mind is gone. I can't remember some of the people, but some of them, I think not Audrey Matano, but who was the one from Gypsy?
Oh, Patti LuPone.
Patti LuPone opened it one year.
Patti LuPone was our grand opening.
That's what I thought.
October 23rd, 2010. That was our grand opening.
That was it.
But yeah, we had Patti LuPone. We had Rod Stewart. We've had, over the 15 years, we've done literally thousands of shows. And we always try to bring in some big names, some things that you wouldn't necessarily see in a theater our size. We're only 330 seats, but to have Bernadette Peters up close, or Rod Stewart, or Patti LuPone, or Chita Rivera, or we've had also some legendary bands like the Fifth Dimension, or I'm gonna draw a blank now, because there's so many. It's hard to remember everything.
So you grew up in Hollywood or Dade County?
I grew up in Miami, in Westchester.
So when you were there, was New World School of the Arts?
New World School was a high school.
Correct.
Pace, and it became New World, I think, when I was in high school.
Okay.
Yeah, and I debated about going over there. One of my friends, Eileen, she left our high school and she went over there, and she's done very well in film and television. But yeah, I stayed at Coral Park, and then I went to FIU, and then went off from there.
Amazing. So I have to ask you, because I have an interest in a club in New York, and it's 54
A
Below.
beautiful club, an amazing club, and if you're in New York and you wanna go see a show no, seriously,
I appreciate
I
it.
love 54 Below. It's a beautiful space. Anyway, sorry.
Well, we started it because there was no venues for either actors that aren't in a show at the moment
Mhm.
or up and coming actors or
Yep.
actresses to perform. So we opened it. Michael Feinstein at that time was our partner with it. He's moved on to St. Regis now.
Yeah.
I said, but we found over the years it gets harder and harder to find talent because what happens is because they either become successful and they move on to Broadway or theater, whatever they go to, there's less and less newcomers and not great talent because the talent is amazing, but the name value isn't there yet.
Yeah, exactly. And we have that challenge with the Arts
I
and
have to
Cultural
believe
Center.
that. Sure. That's what I'm asking you because you
Yeah.
have to, at some point, you can't keep repeating.
No. Although, this year is our 15th anniversary season, and we did bring back a couple of favorites in different areas
Uh-huh.
for this year.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, we don't like to repeat, within a few years. But I have this. So our Broadway concert series is kind of modeled after 54 Below. Not that we have that environment, of course, but the artists that we're bringing in to do the kind of shows that we're bringing in is I want to try to bring the people to South Florida that you might see if you went to 54 Below. So this year in our Broadway concert series, we have, I think everyone is a Tony winner or a Tony nominee. We just opened with Stephanie J. Block, who you may know, she won the Tony for the Cher show, but she was also one of the original Elphabas, and has done a million things on Broadway. We have the amazing Ann Hampton Callaway and Liz Callaway together
Great,
coming
great
up
show.
in
Oh, my
January.
God. Amazing show.
And then we're also bringing in the original Fiyero from the original Wicked, Norbert Leo Butz, who's also a two-time Tony Award winner for multiple shows. And then we are bringing in the original Cassie from A Chorus Line Tony Award winner, Donna McKechnie, who can still kick and is amazing. And then we're closing out with the recent Tony Award winner for Death Becomes Her on Broadway, Megan Hilty. So it's a really
Oh, what?
exciting Broadway concert.
What runs there?
And these are artists that you're going to see in an intimate space, who you would only have to go, you'd have to go to Broadway to see them
Right.
otherwise. Yeah.
In fact, I just recently saw Megan Hilty in the show she's doing, Death Becomes Her.
Which is hilarious.
It really is. What an amazing show, by the way. The staging
Yeah.
is phenomenal.
And Jennifer Samard, come on, she killed
She
me.
actually stole the show.
She stole the show.
She did that, yes.
She's hilarious. She's in the Goldie Hawn role, and is just hilarious. Anyways, yeah.
So you're over there, you have the show, you manage the theater. Tell us the relationship. I mean, obviously the city owns it and we subsidize whatever the shortfall is, and we've been doing that for many, many years. It's almost impossible to be a profit center because you can't be in theater today. It's very, very difficult.
It is very difficult, and especially with the size of the venue that we have, only
Right.
330 seats, we have to be very careful, very judicious with what we choose, how we program, how we balance everything. But the great thing about the Aventura Arts and Cultural Center is that we've spent the last 15 years developing a reputation of being a venue where not only do the audiences want to come, but the artists want to come, the promoters want to come, the producers want to come, because our front of house experience for the guests is amazing, but also we provide the highest level of service backstage. Our technical crew is top notch. Everybody on our team is incredible. We just had Stephanie J. Block, and she said from the stage, these folks have been treating me like gold. So that's the thing, is that word of mouth is very important because the actors talk to each other. And if an actor or if an agent says, hey, I've got an offer for you to play this place or this place, and they're like, oh, well, I know that place is great. I know Aventura is great. So I'm going to go there. So, but basically us using the city's subsidy to do programming to bring in the bigger names or the shows that are too big for our size of a venue so that we could serve the residents of Aventura, that brings eyeballs and attention to the center, and media attention. It brings and artists and promoters see the center and see it's successful and see the kind of experience that they're given. So they want to come in. So over the years, we've moved the activity of the rental activity has grown and grown and grown and grown. In fact, we're almost double the number of rental performances for this current 15th anniversary season than we were in our busiest season before COVID.
So to explain the rental concept, because the rental is if Bob Shelley says, I have a show, I rent your venue.
Yep.
It's my expense. I pay for everything. If I make money, I make. I don't, I don't.
Right.
The other way would be you would be the producer, so to speak.
Correct.
And you take that risk.
That's correct.
And you're saying that many more people are now renting the venue.
Yep. We have always had several regular folks, like Arts Ballet Theater of Florida is our regular ballet company. They do 4 programs a year. In fact, they're doing the Nutcracker coming up again. It's an annual favorite, and I think a lot of your residents are coming to that. So we're excited for that. But Arts Ballet Theater, but not only Arts Ballet Theater, we also have New World School of the Arts Dance Division. We have Dance Now Miami. We have Styx Dance Company. So we have all of these regular dance companies that come in and do their shows with us. We have Miami International Piano Festival that does 6 or 7 classical concerts a year, bringing in world-class pianists from all around, from all over the world. They also open their season with a symphony on our stage every year. So classical music is there. We have a lot of tribute concerts, and we used to have to bring all of those in. Well, we found 3 or 4 different promoters who specialize in tributes, who love bringing their shows to Aventura.
So would that be someone like, I remember I saw there was somebody there that did a tribute to Frank Sinatra. It was all his music. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah,
Someone like
tribute to Frank Sinatra. We have a Bee Gees tribute. We have a Queen tribute. We have a Whitney Houston tribute. We have some really interesting ones this year. We have a Moody Blues tribute. We have a Traveling Wilburys tribute. All over the map. Whatever you are into musically, I'm sure you can find a show at Aventura.
And you know, that's interesting because up in New York at the club, we have started doing that a lot. Like we have the Sunday tribute to Sammy Davis as an example.
Yep.
And what we do is we bring in all these Broadway actors that are either off that night or the show's dark or they've been. And it's amazing how they do so well, these shows.
Yeah.
And there's no name.
No, it's about the music.
Exactly.
It's about the music, yeah.
So if I wanted to put a show on there, I'm just using an example, and I said, okay, I want to rent your theater because I've got a concept I want to do. I want to have Bob Shelley performing that night.
Right.
What's the process and what does it cost and how does that whole thing work?
I would say go to our website. There's a way to contact us on our website, aventuracenter.org, or call us. The first thing is we sort of see if the dates are available that you're looking for, what kind of show it is, whether we think that it'll whether it can fit, because some people come in with shows that are built for 1,000-seat theaters that are just not the right thing for us. So, or dance competitions that have 100 contestants. We don't have enough space for things like that. We also want to make sure that whatever you're planning on bringing in isn't so close to something else very similar.
Right.
So if you've got a Dean Martin tribute, and I've already got a Dean Martin tribute, which we do have a Dean Martin tribute this year,
but do you need a Jerry Lee Lewis? A Jerry Lewis?
Okay. I don't know if he's got a Jerry.
Okay. We'll let you do that. You're the actor.
Yeah, well, not anymore. Okay. I do the curtain speeches.
There you go. Okay.
But yeah, so then we talk to you about your show. We'll put together an estimate of what your costs are, and if all that looks good to you, then we'll do a contract. We'll get your show built. We'll get it on sale. We'll help you promote it. We have some really great advantages, especially with the IKE Smart City kiosks that are all around the city. They give us an opportunity to put our shows up on there. So there's some visibility. The costs, I would say it's probably around $12 a seat when you factor in. So, and most of our tickets are probably in the $50, $60, $70 range. So that's about the economics of, without getting too deep.
So it's a few thousand, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for the theater.
Yeah, yeah.
And that includes everything.
We are full service. We are turnkey. We provide the ticketing. We provide the front of house staff. We provide the stagehands. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We provide the concessions, the parking, janitorial, security. All of that is included.
There's not a lot considering what you're getting for it.
Correct.
I mean, to be in a beautiful setting like that.
Absolutely. And part of that is because of that relationship with the Broward Center managing it. We get to, if we were trying to do this, if the city was trying to do this by ourselves,
right,
I don't think we could do it we couldn't provide the kind of support and the kind of service that we provide if we were on our own without the management of the Broward Center.
So without going into too many secrets, I'm sure there are hiccups that happen when some of these acts come down.
Sometimes, I mean, we've had extreme circumstances where people have, gotten snowed in. Art Garfunkel got snowed in, and we had to reschedule him twice because he got snowed in once, and then he got sick the next time. A lot of it has to do with travel or illness. If something isn't happening, it's because there's been an issue with somebody in the company, getting sick or not being able to get into town. We had a show, we had our Queen tribute this year, this month, this past month, that was supposed to be last spring, and we had to move it because, well, the other issue at that time was we had some air conditioning problems at the venue that had to get fixed. So we couldn't do the show without the air conditioning.
Do you ever find that you want to get up on that stage after you, because that is how you started.
It is. I get up on the stage almost every show to do a curtain speech.
Oh,
That's enough for me. I
that's
still do them. I still do those curtain speeches. I'm not asking for money. Thank goodness we don't have to fundraise in that way because again, we're subsidized by the city. So what I really do is I get up there, I welcome people, I remind them, whether there's photos are allowed or not allowed. But also, one of the things I love to do when I get up to do my curtain speeches is, first of all, I thank the audience for coming to a live event with your friends and neighbors. It's and to remind them to like be present, be here in that moment. You're not watching TV, you're not watching a movie. This is a once in a lifetime, will never happen again, this
Right.
particular way moment, this concert, this dance, this comedian, this whatever. This experience is something you're having right now with your friends, your loved ones, your neighbors,
Hmm.
and you're all sharing it together. And there's more that brings us together than takes us apart. And live theater and live entertainment is one of those places
Where
where
isn't it? Does it take you out of your life for a few hours?
life.
It does. I find that up there.
But your phone, turn your phone off.
Yeah. And
That's all that'll be there
yeah.
in 90 minutes when the show is
I
over.
mean, I'm supposed to see Clue tonight, as a matter of. And it's true. You go to these shows, and for that hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours, it's live. You feel like you're part of the show because it's a live performance. It's not like going to a movie theater where you get up and get popcorn if you want.
Right.
Yeah, it's a different world.
Yeah.
So, what's coming up now? I mean, I know you have such an amazing season, but
It's a little bit of everything, and I'm always excited about everything. It's hard to pick one particular thing. I mean, I think that there are literally 100 more performances left in the rest of this season. We're just now getting into the height of season, but coming up right after New Year's, we have Magic and Mayhem, which is a family-friendly magic show. Bring your grandkids, bring your kids, bring everybody. We also, if you love klezmer and jazz, we have a company called it's called Schmaltz and Pepper, and they're a fantastic klezmer, Payadora klezmer orchestra out of Canada that we're bringing down. We've had them here twice before, and the audience loves them. It's a matinee on Sunday, the first Sunday after New Year's. Schmaltz and Pepper. Get your tickets at aventuracenter.org. I mentioned the Calloway sisters are also in
yes,
January.
do not miss that show because
Yeah.
I've seen it. I mean, we've had them up there, and it's amazing. They're amazing together.
I think one of the other ones that I'm super excited about in January is Human Nature, which is an Australian doo-wop group that was Smokey Robinson's proteges, and they're doing all of your doo-wop songs, but with some modern twists to them. They're three exciting young guys doing all this great music that everybody loves. That's Human Nature. It's the Back to the Sounds of Motown, I think is the title of the show. There's so much. Go to our website, aventuracenter.org, see all of the shows that are coming up there. You can get your tickets right there. Again, it's hard to pick one
I
thing.
know.
There's so
I know.
much going on. I
Well,
look at our shirts.
I have to say, I just want just a little final note because I know it's subsidized by the city. However, and I can tell you because I'm on the finance of the city, it's a very small amount. It's really, considering what it costs to run a theater 52 weeks a year, the city doesn't really have to subsidize that much any longer because you're doing so much great stuff there. And what it really has done is it enabled you to have a price. $50, $60 for a ticket today is nothing compared to going to a Broadway show,
Absolutely.
but it enables you to maintain that price without having to charge $80, $90, $100 because you have that luxury. and that benefits the people here.
I appreciate you saying that because we have worked really hard to not raise our prices at the same rate as the costs have been going up. And ever since the last 5 years, costs are basically double what they were, but we have not doubled our ticket prices. Now, not every show is the same ticket price, and a lot of our renters set their own prices, but for the most part, you are correct. We try to keep those prices, $50, $60, maybe $70 for some of our bigger things. But also just remember, you've got a discount when you buy 10 tickets or more. If you come in with a group to any of these shows,
Right.
you're going to get a discount there as well.
All right. So the next thing is, before we leave, I play a little piano, you sing a little bit. Why don't we do a show? How's that? Like a little tribute to Broadway. How would that be?
I don't know. I think we would have to pay people 50 or something.
Well, I wasn't looking to sell a lot of tickets.
Yeah, no, it's been a long time since I've been a singer. I'll sing around the piano with my
There you
family at the holidays. but
Okay. And I'll play around the piano at the holidays. That's about
right,
extent.
That's right. That's right.
Jeff, I can't thank you enough for coming here today.
And
And
so
really
grateful.
do not, if you haven't been to the theater, I will tell you it's an amazing venue, beautiful, intimate, as Jeff said. The shows are absolutely first class, top quality. The performance, the whole way the show is written, just the ambience of the theater, the professionalism. I mean, I've been involved with a lot of stuff there too, so I've seen the backstage mechanism of it, and it's as professional as the shows you see on Broadway. So I want to thank you for all you do for our community. It's really absolutely amazing.
It's
I
my
appreciate you coming here, and please go visit the Aventura Theater. It's an amazing, and also we have blocks of tickets for quite a few of these shows. Speak to the C&E committee. They have the tickets. They'll tell you all about it. I thank you very much. We'll be right back.
The Aventura Arts and Cultural Center. Join us for laughter,
But I'm an American now.
music, Broadway stars, magic, and family entertainment, and so much more. Get your tickets today at aventuracenter.org.
Okay, welcome back. I hope you enjoy Jeff. He's an amazing guy. And as I said, do not miss going to the Aventura Theater. We have partnered with them on a number of their shows this year, and I think it's a wonderful opportunity for us to become part of it. Aventura Theater has been part of the community for almost, I think he said, 19, 20 years now. And I think it's wonderful to support it. In fact, we are going to be talking to our C&E committee about holding some of our events and such there. But I want to talk to Jeff Klein, obviously, our COO, for a few minutes because for a number of reasons. We have a lot of things going on the island, a lot of amazing opportunities coming up, all kinds of capital improvements that we're looking into as we had promised. But we also want to clarify to make sure the rumor mill stops and we really have a clear understanding of what is going on. Because people talk a lot in this. Before we get into that, though, a little public announcement type of thing. Unfortunately, we've said 100 times people are speeding. They're going too fast in the community. Some of the people with baby carriages and such have been close to being hit. And we have almost 500 children on the island now. And it's become more and more important that this is adhered to. We tried having the Aventura police here because people going through stop signs. It helped for a while, but the minute the police aren't here, it stops. So what will be happening in the island, and it's good for the island, this is not a punishment, quite to the contrary, it's safety for all of our children, our families, and everybody. We will be putting in a full-time camera system with a camera that records and tapes and checks the speed of the car as well as the license plate. And we will be instituting fines, not because we're looking to get rich from this, quite to the contrary. We hope we don't make any money from this, but we hope it slows down traffic. We're finding that, unfortunately, there's been a lot of close calls. There's been some damages. People have hit gates, they've hit signs, they've hit trees, damage to cars, and it's just not a healthy situation. So I do want to let you know in the next couple of weeks, you will see signs. We're going to let people know they're there, but it's so important. Drive slowly, carefully, and watch out for the children because that's a major factor in our island, security and safety of the children and all of us for that matter. Anyway, going forward, we've been talking about the next steps of our capital improvements. We did the Island Club, we did the pool, and if you recall, we put together a 5-year capital improvement plan. some of the items in that plan with the new restaurant, improving our spa, some landscaping, road surfacing, sports courts, padel courts, of which the padel is being undergone right now. The sports court is being put in as we speak. And now we are looking at two of the major components of this program, and that is the restaurant, the grill, as well as the spa. And we had a meeting because about 3 months ago, we started looking into the spa portion of it. And we started to look at, do we spend X amount? Do we spend Y? What do we do? How do we do it? What's the accomplishment? And what are the goals? And we started to work towards some of these goals. And then Jeff and I were talking, and we said, it's time to bring the board into it because nothing had been decided yet. Obviously, the board has to approve whatever we do. But we said, let's stop. Let's bring it to the board and get some input from them. And we had the meeting yesterday, which by the time this comes out will be probably last week. But the unanimous decision of the board was, let's take a breath and let's look into all of the options, whether it be putting a new building in, whether it be refurbishing what we have, and see what's best for the global picture and what are the goals of the island that we want to accomplish by this major capital improvement. So we really thank the board because it was absolutely unanimous that they said, let's take a breath, let's take a look back, start to see it, do an analysis of what's there and what is best suited. Because one of the reasons we stopped and we're doing it this way is because of the demographics of the island. And to give you a very interesting stat, we just got some information from the city. 75% of Aventura age is between 19 and 65. Only 25% are over 65, which 10 years ago, it was the exact reverse of that. So that is exactly what we are experiencing here on Williams Island. So whatever we do, we want to make sure it meets the standards of what we've just done and what we're going. So Jeff's going to give you a little update as to how we're going to approach this whole program, how we're going to look into it, because you've been intimately involved with, and I want to thank John Felds, because John chairs our construction committee, but he has been truly an amazing partner in working with us on this project.
Absolutely.
But give us an idea, what's going to now happen?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, hope you had a good Thanksgiving. The island was humming.
It sure was. I was here, yes.
From the turkey trot to over 500 meals served that day, whether we delivered to your home, you picked up your food, or you ate at Olia or the grill. It was a really spectacular weekend. But the biggest takeaway from that weekend was the number of children on the island. I mean, the turkey trot was overwhelmingly successful.
I heard we had 200-300 kids there.
I'm talking kids from, babies just born all the way to teens and tweens and 20-year-olds. I mean, this island has truly become multi-generational.
Yes.
And part of the process we talked about in the spa when we first set out was very simple. How do we take the existing spa structure and make it better, right? Because everything we're trying to do, we're trying to make it better. And when we were going through the diligence process with you and John and Connor, who's joined the team, who has a wealth of construction background knowledge, and Carrie when it comes to programming and speaking with residents, we realized that the bang for the buck on a very simple refresh would simply be a waste of money. And then we decided to explore a little deeper. And well, what if we move this over here and knocked a wall down and moved this around and did this around and did that? And to put it best, John Fells said, all we're doing is moving the marbles and we're spending a lot of money to do it. So then I believe it was you that challenged us to think big and be really creative and pretend that there was no money involved in terms of coming up with ideation. So we went back and we started exploring the what if scenarios. But in that scenario, we were taking all the demographics of the island into high consideration. So we weren't just moving marbles to get exactly what we have in a different shape or form.
Right.
We were adding amenities. We were adding wellness. We were adding recreation. And what we were trying to do is come up with a strategy that creates, for lack of better terms, a true clubhouse experience all in and under the same roof and potentially adding a new roof. And yesterday's meeting with the board, which was a closed meeting because I know you spoke about some private legal issues. But the portion that I got to hear was absolutely inspirational because it was a board that wasn't focused on today, but it was a board that was truly focused on tomorrow. And to me, that's motivational and that's inspirational because let's be honest, some of those board members may not be on the board in 5 years, but that's not the way they're thinking. They're thinking about this community for the future. And that is an unbelievable asset to have when you can have a board thinking about something that they're not going to be intimately involved with in 5 or 7 years, but they're willing to invest the time and the money and the exercise to see what it looks like. That's awesome. So we have already started. I mean, when you came back to me after that meeting yesterday and the board was unanimous in starting the process of what's next, we've already had conversations with our designer. We've already had conversations with the operations team. We've had conversations with the design team, the construction team. So we're full steam ahead exploring what a new building looks like sitting adjacent to the current building, which is currently where we're building Padel. So I know, well, what happens to Padel? The good news is most of that project, minus a few dollars, simply gets moved with the new idea, which would be putting Padel on the roof of this new building.
And by the way, that's very normal and common. It sounds way out.
All over South Florida.
Most places are doing that now to save space.
Because there's no land.
Correct.
And Padel can go just about anywhere.
Yep.
So we're looking at putting a Padel court, the 2 Padel courts on the roof of a structure, which would gain green space and deck space and social space. And then outfitting for rough numbers, a 10,000 square foot building that could accommodate fitness, wellness, recreation, kids, and create a real sense of clubhouse as we think about the transformation, because that's what it's going to be. Because what I heard from the board yesterday was transformative, next generation, future forward, technologically savvy. Those were the things that really got me excited because we're not just putting, for lack of better terms, the lipstick on the building. This is actually going to be a brand new makeup kit. One that has everything you can imagine in a makeup kit.
And it'll address the needs of the younger generation, which is very important to this whole project. We have, with 400 or 500 kids on the island, we must put something in. And that was one of the reasons that we started looking into this.
Sure. And, we could sit here and always debate, well, the amenities and the usage and the time. These items are built for peak, right? They're never built for the lulls. Otherwise, we wouldn't build them. We wouldn't build tennis courts. We wouldn't build pickleball courts. We would build restaurants. We'd have no amenities. But that's standard in a lifestyle community and club. Everybody wants to play tennis at the same time. Everybody wants to work out at the same time. Everybody wants to eat at the same time. That's just natural. So this building and the future building gives us the opportunity, as an example, to take the children out of the dance studio. And the dance studio could be a dance studio used for classes and other things by taking the kids out. But right now, that's where our kids go because we have no indoor space for kids. So a lot of the thought process, which is starting today and piggybacking some of the preliminary stuff we had, we'll spend the next 60 days all in ideation and hand sketches and working with the designer and laying out things. And through that process, there'll be full transparency. I know you talked about having a board meeting where we shared preliminary, and then we have some sessions with residents to make sure we're accommodating their needs and really listening to all the different demographics, similar to what we did when we added the family committee.
Correct.
We never had a family committee on the island. Now we have a family committee.
But a lot of this input is coming from the family committee now, which is wonderful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So this process will unfortunately push the spa project 1 year in terms of start time. So we wouldn't start this project till the middle of 2027. We would anticipate this being a 1-year project. We would have a temporary gym facility whether it's for 6 months or 1 year, depending on the technical way to do the new building to the old building. So we wouldn't skip a beat. We would continue to offer the amenities. We would work diligently to do this in 1 year. But the good news is by pushing out 1 year, it allows us to spend 2026 focused on the grill, which is time. Believe it or not, that grill now is 10 or 12 years young. The furniture is showing its age. The materials are showing their age. And as we look at the demographics on the island, it's time to zhuzh the space a little bit.
Right.
Possibly adding space to the bar area, which we feel is undersized for the needs for the community. Potentially adding some new cuisine concepts to the
And you're going to put a
restaurant.
sushi bar in it.
And potentially add a sushi bar, which would be awesome, right? It's our most popular night of the week.
Mhm.
So why not do it 7 nights of the week? So working with Thaddeus and the designer on preliminaries to show the executive committee and the
Right.
construction committee. So it's an exciting time
Oh,
at
yeah.
Williams Island. This 5-year capital plan of $10 million was truly spectacular, but the new concept makes us truly different. And there'll be nothing like it in any community in South Florida where you have lifestyle, country club, luxury resort feel all within 83 acres.
And I appreciate what you said because it's exactly what's happening and why we're doing it. But I think some of the comments I've been hearing, and I think we all have to understand, as Jeff said, whatever we do today is for tomorrow. It's not for today. And we've heard people say, oh my God, they spent $20 million on the clubhouse and the pool and the this and that. You don't realize what it does to the values of our homes. We are all neighbors. We are not spending money for the sake of just spending money. We're spending money to create a future for the people that live here, the people that are going to be living here, but our children. And we can't judge our projects by today because otherwise nothing would ever get done.
Right. And it's interesting. I think John said it best. We spent $20 million, which breaks down to about $2 to $3 a square foot per your unit.
Mm-hmm.
But how much value did it add to the real estate value
No question.
of the unit? So the investment today, which by the way is being managed very well through the finance department, the finance committee, the board. I mean, we have great reserves, right? We're very comfortable.
Yeah, and understand when we did our budget a year and a half ago, the whole intent of how we established it was to have funding for our capital improvements over the next 5 to 10 years. That is the purpose of it. And if we do nothing with the money, the only thing we'll accomplish is have money in the bank. The values will go down. If we didn't do this clubhouse, it would have collapsed eventually. If we didn't do the pool, it was disintegrating. If we don't do the spa, we're going to have to replace 11 air conditioners, new plumbing, repool it. I mean, it goes on and on and on. So one of the reasons we are not a Puerto Vita wannabe anymore, but they are a Williams Island wannabe, is because we have taken the initiative to be progressive, think ahead, and improve and be proactive.
Well, it's actually interesting you said that because I got invited for lunch to Puerto Vita a couple of weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
And then after I got invited to lunch, Bruno invited himself to meet with you.
Yes.
So there's obviously a lot of noise about what we're doing.
Oh, yeah.
I got invited, and in that lunch, which was friends, it was a lot of questions more than it was lunch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And after the lunch, when I talked to Bruno, he said, I think I'm going to try to meet with Bob Shelley.
He did, yeah.
Because I just want to catch up with Bob.
Uh-huh.
But now it all makes sense that aspirationally, we've always wanted to be like them. And I think that's changing
Totally.
very
Totally.
quickly. And listen, Puerto Vita is beautiful.
Oh, no
The
question.
finishes are beautiful. Their amenities don't hold a candle to our amenities.
Mm-hmm.
Our willingness to continually invest, they can't keep up with because they don't have the audience that's willing to focus on tomorrow.
Right.
And that's the biggest difference.
Yep.
When I saw the board yesterday unanimously, and not through all agreeing, this was dialogue, this was pros and cons, and this was what if we did this and what if we did that. This was not just a group of people nodding their head and agreeing. This was amazing dialogue that ultimately led us to let's explore this next step.
And
that to me was unbelievable.
No question. And I think it's important to understand we did not approve anything at the board meeting. This was just to get a consensus as to how to proceed to look into what is needed on the island, what amenities we need, and how to accomplish it within our financial budgets.
Yeah.
None of what we're talking about is going to need an assessment, but we want to make sure every dollar we spend on whatever these projects are benefit the island, and we're not just doing something for the sake of doing it. We're doing it because if we don't do it, eventually these amenities that we have on the island will fall apart. Your values will go down. People will stop buying here. We have the lowest amount of units for sale on the island that we've had here in 10 years. And that says a lot for the people coming in here. Now, the real estate market may be a little soft right now, but if you consider the fact that there's no units for sale, you can't get a unit, and that's only going to turn around with time now. But the board was amazing in the total unanimous decision to look into things in a very careful, judicious manner.
Yeah.
So, and one of the other reasons we're doing this is we have a team of people that can accomplish this. Between Jeff at the helm and a guy like John Fells chairing the committee and the board that we have that's in a progressive mode, we have a dream team of people here. And when we talk about the restaurant that we're going to be doing, and we have Thaddeus and Gabe as the head of the food and beverage departments, we have an amazing opportunity.
Got to strike while the iron's hot.
If we don't do it now, who knows what will happen
Yeah.
in 5 years or 4 years or 3 years. But everything we're doing now is for our future.
Absolutely.
And if we don't do that, shame on us,
Absolutely.
because that is the responsibility we've been given. So
It's amazing.
it's just, this is so much good stuff happening on the island.
Yeah, and just go back to the one thing you talked about before we talked about the spa. You talked about the cameras. So Noel and Brian from our IT department are working. We had a meeting yesterday. We are looking into 2 different camera systems that would read license plates, detect speed. We're looking at anywhere from 3 to 5 locations on the island. And like you said, this is not a money collection thought process. This is a preventative process. And we saw it work perfectly. When the Aventura police were here, we wrote 162 tickets. Since they've left, we probably could have written 1,062 tickets. So the cameras are being put up as a deterrent, not as a aid to collecting money. Our goal, which by the way, in our rules and regulations allows for fining based on speed, is not to collect money. It's to make Williams Island a safer place.
Correct.
As we just are in the process of building the basketball court and the soccer field on the triangle adjacent to the pool, that adds traffic to that location.
Speaking of that,
Yeah.
let's talk about what is happening right now.
Sure.
I see that
Sure.
the Padel court is going in.
Yep.
The foundation has been put in. What's the time frame on that right now? What does it look
Oh,
like?
so typical Williams Island fashion, when we started digging, we found some things that we didn't have on an as-built. So we found asphalt, we found pipes, we found lines, all that had to be relocated, repositioned. We hope to have all the grading done today or tomorrow.
Oh.
We hope to then start the rebar and the conduit. And with all perfect plans, we're pouring concrete next week. Concrete cures, courts get assembled, turf gets put in. And I told the contractor that if they celebrate Christmas with us, that's not going to be a good thing. So our goal is to have them out of here by Christmas. That's the goal. As I was walking over, we were pouring concrete
I saw that on the sports
basketball
court.
on the
Yep,
sports court.
yep.
So the hoops are in transit. The physical material for the court is due here in 7 to 10 days. And once they finish the concrete, they'll then work on the substrate surface for the turf and the soccer field. So within the next 2 to 3 weeks, we should have a basketball court and a mini soccer field up and running, which would be awesome. So we'll have padel, we'll have soccer, we'll have basketball. The playground is functioning really well. People are using the putting green thanks to Miles.
Oh, yeah. That would become a big thing.
Social putting.
Big thing.
And the dogs are still loving the dry, clean turfed dog park. So those are really the things that are happening.
Well, you left out one.
Which one?
You left out probably one of the more important ones to Aaliyah.
Okay.
When you come to Aaliyah, the problem we've had in the past is you get from the underpass walkway to, if it's raining, getting soaked or having an umbrella to get up to Aaliyah. What we'll be doing is Jeff found an amazing coverage program where we will have a covered walkway completely from the walkway that we have now to Aaliyah entrance.
The problem with these shows is Bob never lets me leave anything to the element of surprise. So the same company that did our porte cochere and our bridge, John and I worked with them on an architectural design that accommodates a covered walkway all the way up the serpentine pathway. We just got the proposal this week. I know you took a look at it. We're working through some details. That's not an overnight project, obviously, because that's got a lot of footer work and steel structures to eliminate some of these.
But it'll be done by the rainy season in June.
Yeah, it should be done before the summer of 26,
Right.
Once finance and board give final blessing to it. But, again, this is a community that is thinking about the community, looking to spend the money wisely, and the board is so supportive and the finance committee is so supportive. And it really stems because the financials of the island are spectacular.
Yes. And to just add to what you just said, I think everyone has to understand no one person makes the decisions about spending. It first goes to our finance committee, who are made up of great CPAs, accountants, people that live on the island who are very, very careful on who we spend money on. Then it has to go to the board for 100% approval. And if it's not approved by the board, nothing gets done. Then we have our finance department, who oversees the expenses, the check writing, the bill payments. So no board member sees a check, sees any money, has the ability to write a check, for that matter. So we have so many processes in place. And by the way, that's not by choice. That's by design of our auditors. The auditors for our HOA, POA dictate how money is spent, how we protect it, how we have checks and balances. And I know there's been people that say, oh, this guy made a lot of money in this, he did that. It's not even possible that anything like that could happen. But the beauty is we do have these checks and balances. We have people that care about it. And remember something, it's our money. It's all of our monies. I want to thank you because really now after hearing Jeff, you understand why I said, let's think about what the possibilities really could be if we really let ourselves go, put on our creative hats, and do what's really needed for the island.
Yeah, I think when this project finished, which was the island, Aaliyah, the pool, the last coconut, the ballroom, the bioclimatic pergolas on both patios, the bridge cover, I think everyone recognized potential. And the comments that I've heard is, what if everything was equal or greater to what we just completed? And that's really the mindset that this board has embraced. And that's why the island is the way the island is. And that's why I'm able to really, in theory, just clear pathways for the experts in all of the disciplines in which I work with. So from communication to tennis to spa to food and beverage to membership to facilities to HR, all I do is clear the pathway for those experts to do their jobs and bring this amenity to life. And that's the beauty of the organization.
No question about it.
So I thank you for letting me have fun.
Oh,
I always get
listen.
I get these beautiful sort of canvases that we get to sort of start from scratch on, and it's amazing, truly amazing. And the season open party was an awesome success.
I have never had so many
knocked it out of the park.
They really
knocked
did.
it out of the park.
They did.
And it's just continuing to bring this asset to life.
Yep. So I thank you.
Pleasure.
I want to thank all of you for supporting us, but I also want to wish you, on behalf of Jeff and myself and the entire board and staff of Williams Island, a happy and a healthy new year coming, because we probably won't have another show before next year. Only health, and happiness. Enjoy your island. This is your home, and we are only here to make it that much better. I appreciate Jeff, and I wish you and your family the greatest health and support for this year. what a great decision we made bringing Jeff in. But also, we have an amazing board I want to say thank you to. I want to thank the committees that we have on this island, because between the legal committee and the construction committee and the architect committee and the family committee, the input we get for direction and for success has been overwhelming. And I want to thank our producer, Arlene, who hides in the back because she hates to be in front of the camera. But again, a happy and a healthy new year to you and your family.
Thank you, sir.
And we look forward to seeing you after the first of the year.